Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. It's 9 o'clock and we'll get started. Meanwhile, I'm seeing a lot of people joining in. So we'll give them another 2 to 3 minutes uh, to get started with the webinar. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Robin Dsouza and I'm the founder of CyberSapiens. I have about 8 years of experience in cybersecurity. So I did my master's in information security management systems, that is ISMS, from Jain University, Bangalore. And then I worked with Infosys as a security engineer. Then I've worked with KPMG as a risk advisor. And then I quit my job basically to uh, provide education to citizens and users on cybercrime, cyber safety. Back then, 8 years back, cyber crimes were just in the boom of rising. So it was a need that time. So it was basically for a social cause, and of course, I had a plan to have a startup as well. So, but it was started with this intention, of providing career guidance and conducting workshops and also providing awareness to the citizens. So, in the past 8 years, I have conducted more than 500 webinars, sessions, workshops, and so on, and trained more than 10 lakh citizens. So uh, I'm basically CISA certified, which is a certification in cybersecurity for the auditor. So I'm a certified security auditor, and compliance is my specialization in cybersecurity. So I worked on various projects, even after KPMG, even after when I was working on this CyberSapiens, worked with Karnataka government, worked with the Microsoft initiative on the Cyber Siksha program with DSCI, and many others like Atal conducted workshops, FD programs, and so on. So that's a bit of overview about myself, and uh, we'll just, yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me. We have another 1 2 minutes for others to join. Okay, so let me just check my net speed. I checked my internet speed. So someone is saying that there is some connectivity issue. Is it with the case for others as well? Please confirm me on the chat. Okay, thank you. So thanks for the confirmation. Maybe you can just rejoin again and see if it works out or not. Yes, because I remember I did check a speed test and see whether everything is working fine or not. So, but in case if you find any issues, please let me know. You can use the chat button for that. Okay. All right. So I think we are good to start. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Yes, the questions that you have raised will be answered at the end of the session. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. I hope you guys are able to see my screen. Okay. So, right. Cyber security, that's what the hot topic that's going on in the entire world today. And talking about first, let's talk about the security aspect. The term security here. Okay. Um, and if you look at the history of security, so security is something not very new. Okay, security is a very old thing. So if you look at 1,000 years back or 2,000 years back, and if you look at the forts, so there's so many forts in India, and I think you might have visited at least one of the forts, right? So even in the forts, you would see a security or a safety factor there. The way how the walls are being built, or the way how the structure of the fort is, and the place where the forts are. So you'll see the security factor being incorporated even 1,000 years back. So, and then if you look at the guards or the security guards existed, 100 years back, 200 years back. Even then, security guards were there. Even 1,000 years back, the guards were existed, and even today we have security guards. So security is a very old thing. It's not a new thing, but during the time things have changed, right? We had in the like 30 years back or 20 years back, even 10 years back, we have seen in the government offices or even in other offices, they used to store the files in the steel based cupboards. And they were not using the wooden based one, because wooden one catches fire easily, and these type of cupboards does not catch fire. So security was even there, but what has changed is the space itself. So we could see the files existed in the physical format, in the paper format, and now we have the data in the short format. So it's cyber today. Cyber refers to anything related to the technology. It could be your laptop, smartphone, server systems, all of that network, everything combines, and we call it as cyber. So security is still there. Security existed 1,000 years back. Security exists now, and security will be existing in the future also. But what will change is the platform that we're there. So now it's called as cyber security. And cybersecurity refers to protecting the cyber and the data in it. Cyber, as I said, it refers to the technology or anything related to technology is called as cyber. So protecting the cyber and the data in it, in simple terms, is what cybersecurity is. So when I started my career 8 years back, it was referred as information security. Now it's not referred as information security. It was referred as cyber security now. And around 15 years back, or maybe 12 years back, even information, it was not referred as information security. It was referred as IT security. So from IT, and before that, it was part of IT. So IT security, information security, and today we have cyber security, right? So that's how the trend is happening with cybersecurity. So why do we need cybersecurity? So let's try to understand that first. So we need cybersecurity because there are cyber attacks happening, and the cyber attacks are leading to data breach. One of the outcome of cyber attack is data breach, which is the very serious issue today that the businesses are facing today. Cyber attacks, which are majorly leading to data breach, and other outcome is also there, but the primary concern here is the data breach. And if you look at the cyber attack, cyber attacks happens in real time. So there are certain websites where you can go and check live cyber attack map. If you check, so there are different companies who provide us the live cyber attack that is happening. So Checkpoint is one of the prominent company. It's a product-based company which provides cybersecurity products as well. So if you look at their website, you can see that cyber attacks happening in real time, right? So on one side, you have the attacks that are happening. On the other side, you have the countries, the top targeted industries, and the top malware types, and so on. So for every second, there is a cyber attack that is happening on one of the other business. So it's not like very rare today, right? uh, it's very common. Okay, so cyber attacks are very common. Similarly, you can see lot of other websites also there, like the Kaspersky and Bitdefenders is the threat map. You can check this website so that you'll get to know about more information about it, and you can explore this website. It will be very helpful. So coming back, this was just to show you that attacks are happening in real time. Okay, and this is a serious issue. So that's the problem. The problem is cyber attacks, which are leading to data breaches. So next, let's understand why cyber attacks are happening, why the cyber attacks and data breaches are happening. So cyber attacks and data breaches are happening because of the digital transformation that has happened. So earlier we used to be in the paper format in the files, but now everything is stored in the e-format, the soft copy form. So with the digital form transformation, attacks have increased. And why it has increased? Because the technology that we say, technology or the digital space, is not actually safe, is not actually secure. It has a glitch, and this glitch we call it as vulnerability. Okay, so vulnerability refers to a glitch or a gap that exists in technology, and there's nothing like 100% security. No technology can be 100% secure. Okay, so in our profession, we never tell our clients that we have made you 100% secure. If someone is saying that, then that would be the biggest wrong thing that one would say. And such companies will be in the top radar of facing a cyber attack. So vulnerability is the reason, and no technology is 100% secure. There is one or the other vulnerability which exists in the technology, and that's how the technology works. So if you look at the past, some of the data breaches, like Yahoo is always on the first example that I give, which has faced cyber attacks, and one of the also the reason why Yahoo lost his business. Of course, there are other pointers also for Yahoo to shut down and have lose its business, but it also faced cyber attacks multiple times in 2011, 13, 14, and so on. Um, Yahoo lost his business, and that's how Google came up, because Google also provided the same services, like similar services like Yahoo. Of course, it had a different approach to it. It's because Yahoo lost his business, and then Google came up, and now we see the technology that Google has brought in, right? It's like unbelievable. So that's the impact of a cyber attack. Apart from Yahoo, ChatGPT has faced a cyber attack. Sun Pharma, one of the biggest pharmacy company, had a cyber attack. Ferrari had a cyber attack. Acer had a cyber attack and a data breach. Twitter had a cyber attack. Rail Yatri, a train ticket booking platform, has faced a cyber attack. Ministry of External Affairs had faced a cyber attack. Not just that, 000 web host, Avast, Bitly, Canva, Domino's, Dropbox, Dubsmash, Dunzo, Gari.com, Ixigo, LinkedIn, Shein, Snapchat, Sony, Vodafone, Xiaomi are also some of the companies who have faced a cyber attack in the past. Okay, so when these companies face a cyber attack, will these attacks affect you? So to understand this, I'll just take you through a website called as haveibeenpawn.com. If you have not accessed this website, you can just check this out maybe later. This is the website which will tell you if your data has been compromised in any of the breach or not. Okay, so the website name is haveibeen.com. You've accessed this, and this is something that you'll get here. You'll have to enter your mail ID. I'm entering one of my mail ID that I use. This is just one of my mail ID, and you hit enter, and it will show you whether this email ID, uh, any account associated with this email ID has been breached or not. And here it's shown that this email ID is breached in 18 data breaches. It's spawned in 18 data breaches. So if you scroll down, you can see Big Basket had faced a cyber attack in 2020, and my date of birth, email ID, IP address, names, password, phone number, and physical address have been compromised. Canva in 2019, and these were the data that has been compromised, and so on. It goes on. Dubsmash, Daddy.com, Hathway, IM Jobs, India Mart, Zomato, Zoomcar. These are the companies who have faced cyber attack, and our data is getting compromised there, right? So it's not just affects the companies, it's affect also at the end. And of course, it affects companies because they face a reputational issue. So in India, it's not taken that strictly, but with the upcoming DPDA Act, the Data Privacy Act, companies in India will be taking cybersecurity more seriously. But if you talk about US, Europe, and all, companies are fined a lot. Okay, if they face a cyber attack, they are fined a lot, and they have to bear the consequences for that. So companies, especially in Europe, US, and other countries, take cybersecurity very seriously because regulations are very strong over there. Okay. Coming back, so this is the site. You can just check it out by yourself. Webinpond.com, just to show you that we also get impacted with the cyber attack which the companies face. So the problem is cyber attacks. That's what we have discussed, and data breaches. So what's the solution for this? The solution for this is cyber security. That's where we cybersecurity professionals come into picture. And cybersecurity is getting into more demand because lot of cyber attacks are happening, right? And it's a thing which goes on happening, it's a never ending thing. Why? Because no technology can be 100% secure, right? So when nothing, there cannot be 100% security. It's of course it's obvious that companies and will face an attack, and cyber and the hackers will keep on conducting cyber attacks because it's an easy way to earn money, right? And that's where to help overcome this problem, cybersecurity is brought in the picture. So in the next slide, we'll understand about cybersecurity as a domain, what happens, how it works, and so on. Okay. Before that, I would like to cover about ethical hacking, because a lot of people have misconception about ethical hacking. When we talk to people, they say that ethical hacking itself is cybersecurity, or that's how the misconception is. But ethical hacking is just a basic concept in cybersecurity. Okay, it's just a method or a process which is used to find vulnerabilities in the technology. It's just a process, and it's a very basic and fundamental thing in cybersecurity. Ethical hacking is not cybersecurity. Ethical hacking is part of cybersecurity. Okay, and there's a difference with cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Cybersecurity is the whole domain, and ethical hacking is one small part of cybersecurity. Okay. So what does the cybersecurity professionals do? What is our job? To understand this, I'll give you an example of doctor. So the job of a doctor is to find a disease and cure the disease in the patient, right? That's what a doctors do. Similarly, the job of a cybersecurity professional is to find the vulnerability and to remediate the vulnerability. So vulnerability here refers to the disease, right? And like how no human can be free from a disease. We humans are vulnerable to diseases. It could be cold, cough, or any kind of type of disease. Same way, technology is exposed to vulnerability. Okay. So we are the doctors of the technology, you can say, and our job is to find that vulnerability and fix it, remediate it before a hacker could find and exploit it. Okay. Um, Further, just like in medical industry, how there are different types of doctors for different sectors, like we have a heart specialist, skin specialist, and so on. In cybersecurity, also there are different profiles for particular specialization. We will talk about these particular profiles in the further slides. Okay. So, talking about cybersecurity, what exactly is cybersecurity? We have already had a slide earlier that it's basically protecting, but that's from a layman perspective. Never say that in a professional environment, if you are tomorrow giving an interview, someone asks you what is cybersecurity, don't say cybersecurity is protecting the data and so on. So there's a definition, there's a professional definition for cybersecurity, which is cybersecurity refers to protecting the CIA of a data. Okay, this is the actual definition of cybersecurity. So what is CIA? CIA refers to confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, that's what CIA is. So see, cybersecurity refers to protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. By layman perspective, the answer is cybersecurity is protecting the data, right? What exactly are we protecting the data from? We're protecting the data from confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So that's the definition of cybersecurity. And what happens when a data breach occurs or a cyber attack happens? The data is stolen and the data is sold, right? The data is sold in the black market, what we call as where the confidentiality gets affected. So whether data is stolen and sold, confidentiality gets affected here. And what is confidentiality? Confidentiality means the data should be accessible to only the authorized users, right? Like my bank details or my certain information like my salary or my income is confidential. It cannot be uh, given out to the public, right? So that's confidentiality. The second thing is data is accessed and modified or altered. Okay, so when a cyber attack happens, hackers try to modify the data or alter the data. That's where the integrity gets compromised. So integrity means when the data is changed, so that the data whatever is there should not be changed, it should be as is, right? That's what is integrity refers to. So data should not be modified. Okay, like in banks example, the if I have like 10,000 in my bank, it should be 10,000. It should not be like the one zero should not be removed or neither one zero should be added to it, right? So that's what integrity is. The third one is data is made unavailable. So it could be websites getting, the hackers gets the website down. And we have faced this, like recently WhatsApp was down, I think last week or a week before that, I think 2 weeks before, WhatsApp was down. A lot of people were not able to use WhatsApp and Instagram and even Facebook as well, right? So that, I mean, it could not be a attack as such, it could be other issues also, but the data is made unavailable where the availability factor gets compromised. So confidentiality, integrity, availability. When any of these three or all these three factors gets compromised, then that's where we call as, that's where the cyber security gets affected. And the main agenda of cybersecurity is to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. Okay. So next, let's try to understand from a top view how the cybersecurity thing works in any organization. So we are at the end protecting the data. So there are different types of data here, like we have personal data, bank data, health data, business data, e-com data, and so on, right? So and then we are protecting the data on one side, and on the other side we are also protecting the infrastructure also. Infrastructure refers to websites, e-commerce sites today like Flipkart. For them, their website itself is the main thing from which they are making money, right? They don't have a physical shop. It could be even some controlling devices, like today in every manufacturing industries, they use computers to regulate the machines, right? How much amount of chemicals or how much amount of data or the components should be getting in. Everything is monitored and handled by a computer system. So that's what the controlling device or infrastructure means here. Okay, so on one side we are protecting the data, on another side we are trying to protect the entire infrastructure. I've just tried to put it in two different ways. And at the end the data resides in the infrastructure itself. Okay, but I'm just trying to segregate that here. So the risk is cyber attacks. Now how do we provide security? We provide security by implementing something called as controls. Now controls are very important. Okay, the more number of controls we have, the more security we provide. So that's where, like, we never say 100% security, but we try to enhance the security by adding more number of controls. Okay. Now the examples of control are antivirus, firewall, passwords, cryptography, load balancers, checksums, etc. These are some of the example of controls. Okay. And understand this. So there is there is the technology, the cyberspace. We are providing security by adding different layers of controls to it. If I have to give you an example of personal example, we have seen like people who have joined here also, or maybe your friends in family, you have seen this, that some of us have extra layer of security in our phone also. Like one is the lock screen. Then we have a password for WhatsApp also. To open WhatsApp, you give a password. To open gallery, you give a password, right? Why do you do that? Because there is something valuable in it, right? Your WhatsApp or your gallery has some personal photos of yours or personal data which you do not want anyone to get access to it easily. That is why you're adding control, you're adding multiple controls there, right? So that's an example of us. And especially when youths and youngsters in relationships, we have seen them having extra layers of security, like adding this additional password for the gallery and Instagram and so on, right? So that your siblings or your friends do not get access to it directly. So we are implementing controls in a personal life also, the same way it works for a business as well. So they work by implementing controls. And talking about controls, there are basically three types of controls: preventive, detective, corrective. Preventive controls, which prevents a cyber attack, like firewall, security guard, antivirus, a lock, physical lock, access control, intrusion prevention system are some of the example of preventive control. The second type of control is detective control. Example, which detects, like CCTV camera, it detects, it does not stop the attack. CCTV camera, like from a physical security point of view. Okay, now understand cybersecurity. In cybersecurity, even physical security also a part of cybersecurity as well. Okay, so it's not separate. So in cybersecurity, we just don't talk about the technical aspects of it. We also talk about the non-technical side also. That is where CCTV camera, security guards also comes into the picture. So detective controls, alarm system, antivirus acts as preventive and detective sometimes, and depending on the product. Conducting audit is a mechanism of detecting the issues, detecting the gaps. Then we have the corrective controls, which corrects. Example, backup. So there is a cyber attack. You want to correct that issue. You take up, you restore the backup, right? And you are back to normal. Water sprinklers, updates like patch updates, antivirus update or software updates. There is a bug and you fix it by giving an update. So that's where the corrective controls comes into the picture. So there are three major types of controls: preventive, detective, and corrective. And the job of cybersecurity professionals is to ensure that there are controls implemented. Now there are thousands and thousands of controls in place, right? Now, how do we know which control to implement and when to implement? So for that itself, and this is where the security standards and regulations comes into the picture. So there are different types of standards and regulation like ISO 27001, PCI DSS, RBI cybersecurity framework, especially for RBI, by the RBI. We have NIST cybersecurity framework, GDPR, data protection. There's this HIPAA regulation, and there is IT Act. These are some of the examples. Okay, there are a lot. Every country has their own regulation, has their own standard or guideline. And standards and regulations are very important. It's very important to understand this in cybersecurity, because all these standards and guidelines, they talk about controls. How to secure the network. They'll say have a firewall, have an antivirus, have an IDS, have an IPS. How to secure the system, block the USB drives, do have a system lock, uh, take backup of the system. How to secure the data, encryption, use access control systems, have a backup of data. From a physical security, install CCTV camera, have alarms, have security guards. From an employee standpoint, provide awareness, conduct background checks, do offboarding properly. These are the controls, just an example of the controls. Okay. And organizations follow to certain standards or certain guidelines, they implement these controls, and that's how they be secure. Okay, so this is all about cybersecurity, how it works, the controls and so on. I hope that was clear. Any questions you have, please make sure that you make a note. You can reach out in the chat box or also in the WhatsApp group as well. Okay. Next, we'll move to the roadmap to cybersecurity, to the cybersecurity career. So talking about this, first let us look at the career entry level jobs that are there in cybersecurity, or the profiles, entry level profiles that are there. The first one is VAPT, or we also refer it as penetration testing. Penetration testing is performed either on web, network, API, cloud, iOS, Android, infrastructure, IoT, and so on. So penetration testing is one profile. The second profile is SOC, which stands for Security Operations Center. It is basically a defensive team, or we call it as a blue team. VAPT is called as a red team or a offensive team. Then we have the GRC, which stands for Governance, Risk and Compliance, where the standards and auditing and the risk management comes into the picture. So primarily, there are these three profiles in cybersecurity. Apart from this, there are also other profiles as well, like in you have in ransomware or malware analysis, you have in forensics investigations and so on. But at a core and entry level, at a general level, these are the three job profiles, the top job profiles, especially at an entry level. Okay. We'll talk about this further. And then we have different designations also, like security analyst, security engineer, consultant, risk advisor, so on. So uh, see, don't go with the designation. Always look at the profile. I think there's one question on this also, because my designation when I was working in Infosys was security information security engineer, and I was part of the compliance team. I was part of the risk management team conducting audits and all. On the other hand, my colleagues were also who were in the penetration testing job role. Their designation was also information security engineer. So it's not actually about the designation; it's about the job profile that you want to get into. Okay. So these are the three job profiles. Next, we look at the different departments or different teams that exist in cybersecurity in an organization. Now, it's not important that every organization will have all these departments. It depends on organization to organization. All these departments have jotted down considering a very big scale organization like Infosys or Google and so on. Okay. So one is VAPT, which stands for Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. It depends on platform. It could be network, platform, web, API, Android, iOS, and so on. Vulnerability assessment is refers to identifying vulnerabilities, and penetration testing refers to exploiting the identified vulnerability. So they are two different um, things, but we club it together and we call it as VAPT. There are different tools used here, like Nessus, OWASP, ZAP, Acunetics as some of the example. There are thousands and thousands of tools that are used to perform the VAPT. Next is SOC monitoring. I've already mentioned that before, Security Operations Center, which is basically monitoring their job. The job of this team or department is to monitor the network and the activities that are happening uh, in the organization. Okay. And this is a tool based, which means 70 to 80% of the job is done by the tool. We have Splunk, QRadar, Logarithm are some of the prominent tools which are used in the industry. So the job of a SOC analyst is to sit and see if there are anything, if there is any unethical or unusual activities happening in the network, and the tool will generate an alert, and the analyst will have to do the investigation and raise a ticket and so on. Okay. So that's about SOC. It's also called as blue team. The third team is in an audit team or an audit department. So the audit job of an auditor is to conduct internal, external audits and to check if the controls are implemented properly, the controls are working properly or not. Okay. So that's the job of the audit team. So some organization have a separate audit team itself whose job is just to conduct the audit. And this audit is part of GRC. Okay. Now talking about GRC, governance, risk and compliance, it is being referred as GRC in past almost like 1 to 2 years. It is being referred as GRC. Before it was referred as compliance. Okay. Before compliance, it was referred as risk management. When I started my career, it was not even as compliance, we were part of risk management. Then it became compliance. Now it is referred as GRC, and audit is part of GRC. Then we have the governance team, governance department, whose job is to ensure that the policies are in place and um, uh, the policies are being followed. They draft the policies. They work around with the policy depending on the need of the business, and also to manage the team and maintain the team. So when I was working with Infosys, there was this governance team, and most of the bigger companies have a governance team. Their job is to govern and see that things are being followed. Okay. And also look after the different teams in their organization. So that's about governance team. Then we have a risk management team, which work on conducting risk assessments and perform risk assessments. Nowadays, a few companies have merged assessment in audit and sometimes in compliance also, but there are still organizations who have a risk management team or a department. Then we have the compliance team to ensure that the organization is following to the standards and and the guidelines. So compliance team ensures this, that the controls have been followed, and things have been followed as per the required standard or regulation. And now when you're talking about compliance, it's because the compliance tells penetration testing is conducted. It's because there is a requirement. Penetration testing is a mandatory requirement or a control in every regulation and or standards that are there in the world. Okay. And that's part of the compliance team. So when I was working with Infosys, I also used to do the compliance part for my, so I used to handle about 75 plus vendors. And one of my tasks was to ensure that they are following they're compliant to certain regulations, and Infosys had their own security standard, and my job was to ensure that they are following it. Then we have the forensics team, which does the investigation. This is also part of the incident management or the SOC team also. Then we have the physical security team, which does looks after the physical security aspects, the CCTV camera, the turnstile gates, biometrics, and so on. Then we have a business continuity team to ensure that the business is running during the crisis. Now when the COVID happened, it was the business continuity team which came into picture and ensure that the business is running by giving remote work options, by delivering the systems to the employees home to their room. And every time there is a crisis, it's a business continuity team. There is a team called as business continuity, which is also part of cybersecurity, and their job is to ensure that the business is running smoothly. Then we have the incident management team to handle any incidents. SOC comes part of incident management. However, incident management also works as an individual team or a department. And there are different sectors inside incident management, one of which could be the SOC. Then we have the third party management. Usually service organizations, bigger organizations have this third party management where their job is to conduct third party audits and all. So when I was working with KPMG, I've conducted more than 200 third party audits. I was also part of this project in KPMG. So that's a separate department or a team. Then we have the network security team, whose job is to work on the firewall, the switches, routers, and so on to take care of the entire network security. Okay. So these are the different departments or teams in an organization at a bigger level. The bigger the organization, the bigger the business, the more teams will be there. The smaller the organization, the smaller the team will be. And all these things will be managed by one particular team. Okay, that is how it works in small organization, bigger organization, medium level organization. They will have a handful number of team. So that's how it works. Next, let's take a look at the domains that are there in cybersecurity. So we have different domains. Web application security is one domain, network security, Android security. Then we have compliance, API security, SOC, identity access management, cloud security, secure development, reverse engineering are some of the domains in cybersecurity. Now, what you need to do is pick one domain from here. Okay, and work on that domain, work on that particular profile, because you can't be into every domain. Now today, that is the biggest problem that people are having. So they don't know what domain to choose. So there are different domains. Sometimes when we talk to people, when I ask them what profile you want to get into, they'll just say I want to get into cybersecurity, but they don't know what exactly they profile they want to, because it's just like doctors. You can just say I'll become a doctor. What doctor you want to be? That's how it is, right? Same way in domains. In cybersecurity, there are different domains, and you need to pick one domain. Now, let's say you pick up web application security. What you need to do? You need to be learning about web application related vulnerabilities and the security around it. Okay. Talking about web application security, there is something called as OWASP Top 10, which you can learn. Okay, make a note of it and you can research about it. You'll get to know. This is the top 10 vulnerabilities. You need to know about different vulnerabilities and learn about different attacks. Like some of the common attacks: DOS attack, DDoS attack, MITM attack, eavesdropping attack, birthday attack, malware attack, drive-by attack, SQL injection attack, password attack, cross-site scripting attack, social engineering attack are some of the common examples of attacks. Okay, so you need to learn the attacks in order to work on this web application security or web pen testing. And to do this, we use Kali Linux. In Kali Linux, it's one of the Linux based operating system. We have all the tools inbuilt, like most of the tools are there inbuilt. Sorry, not most of the tools, some of the tools are there. Rest of the tools you have to install it. So to be in cybersecurity, to be in the pen testing side, to be in the on this side, you need to work on Kali Linux. And especially if you want to learn web application security, you can refer to the Port Sugar website. Burp Suite is one of the tool that we use for web application security. Learn Burp Suite. There are tools. You need to work on tools, understand web applications, how it works, and the vulnerabilities. Now, from where will you learn vulnerabilities? This is one of the website from where you can learn different vulnerabilities. They have labs also where you can work on those labs, practice the attacks, and so on. This is a website which you can refer. Okay, so every business today needs cybersecurity, right? Every business today, every organization from a small scale to bigger scale, everyone needs cybersecurity, and that's where cybersecurity professionals are in demand today, right? So that's why we have the lot of job opportunities. But what you need to do, you need to see that you choose a particular profile. Without choosing a particular profile, there's no point in applying for job, because the companies will ask you, like, what type of job role you want to apply for. You can't just say I want to be an ethical hacker or a cybersecurity, like that. Ethical hacking is a just basic concept that I said. It's a pen tester or the SOC or GRC, malware analyst, reverse engineer, whatever, investigator, forensic investigator. There are different job profiles, or the domains. You'll have to pick up one and work on that. And talking about job opportunities, government, there are opportunities in the government sector. Today, government is hiring a lot of candidates. There's this portal called as NCIIPC. I'll talk about it later in the next slides, where government are hiring for security professionals. So you have opportunity in the government sector, because everything today is become digitalized, right? Everything is digitalized, and government needs to protect the digital infrastructure of the country. Okay, so government needs cybersecurity professional. Every IT industry or any industry, that way, which IT industry or IT enabled industry like CA or anyone that matter, needs cybersecurity professionals. You have, we have requirement there also. And the best part of cybersecurity is you can also work as a freelancer. You can also be a freelancer, right? So before I talk about freelancer, I'll just cover about government and IT industry. So cybersecurity is the only domain, in only job role which will be required at every industry and every sector. Okay, be finance sector, be bank, be anything. Cybersecurity professionals are required everywhere, and that's the best part of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity existed 1,000 years back. Cybersecurity exists now. Cybersecurity exists in future, and cybersecurity is required in every industry, in every domain today. Cybersecurity is required. Okay, so talking about the freelancing part, again, this is another best part of cybersecurity, which is you can be a freelancer, which is basically bug hunting, especially students. This is the best thing for you. Without getting a job, without getting into a job, you can work on cybersecurity projects, on the bug bounty projects, VDP, vulnerability disclosure program projects, and you can earn as well. So you can earn being a student. You can get a weightage to your profile by becoming a bug hunter, and tomorrow companies will hire you easily because you'll have that weightage to your profile, right? And these are some of the websites where you can do bug hunting. Apart from that, you can also practice for bug hunting also with on CTF 365. Bugcrowd is where you can work on bug hunting. Hub has a lot of labs to practice, and we also have our CyberSapiens machine where one can practice and find bugs. There are a lot of vulnerabilities that we have configured, and anyone can work on that. And for those who report, they can practice on this particular machine as well. So bug hunting is something which is very important, especially if you're a student, or even if you're not a student and you want to get into pen testing side. Now, this is only for penetration testers who want to get into the pen testing profile, not for SOC. This doesn't help for SOC, people who want to get into the SOC profile. There's this thing called as NCIIPC, National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, by the Government of India. Any bug you find on a government website which ends with .gov.in, you can report it to the government, and government will give you acknowledgement and a letter of appreciation for that. And with that, you will gain a weightage to your profile. Tomorrow, when you're applying for jobs, you can say that, hey, I want to apply for penetration tester. I have reported more than 100 bugs to more than 50 companies in past 1 year. That's how you're going to showcase your skill. This is a way to showcase your skill. Okay, and you can do that. And if you look at the bounty, Indian hackers win $22,000 from the Google for uncovering major vulnerabilities. OpenAI offers 20 bounty up to $20,000. Instagram, an Indian student got $45,000 as a reward for reporting a bug to Instagram, and so on. And if you look at the awards that people have got, it's like, you can just Google for it, you will get to see. Um, so yeah, bug hunting is where one needs to be at. Of course, if you want to get into the SOC profile, then there's a different one. If it is want to get into GRC, that's a different one. Okay, we will be conducting further sessions specifically on penetration testing, SOC, and GRC. What the job role is, how it works, what are their day-to-day activities, and so on. We'll be covering that in the upcoming webinars, and we'll keep you posted for that. Those who are interested can join the upcoming webinar also. Okay, so bug hunting is something that one can get started with. And next is about data privacy. I wanted to touch upon this point as well. Data privacy is also booming today. With the introduction of Data Privacy Act by the Indian government, the requirement for data privacy will increase a lot. Cybersecurity will also increase, but data privacy will also increase. Till now, data privacy was part of cybersecurity, but in the coming years, data privacy will become a separate domain. Okay, and you can get certification or training from DSCI, which is Data Security Council of India, which is a government unit. They have the DCPP and they have the DCPLA certification. If anyone interested in data privacy related job role, you can do this certification. You will be having good opportunities in the coming months. Soon, even now you have opportunities in data privacy, but in the coming months, once we have the Data Privacy Act, you'll be getting more opportunities to it. So these are the different job domains, different profiles that are there in cybersecurity. So if anyone wants to get into cybersecurity, the first thing that you have to do is choose a particular profile. You can also choose 2 profiles or 3 profiles also, depending on how good you are in learning and acquiring the skills. Because in cybersecurity, it's the skill that is required. It's the skills which companies are looking for. Okay, so Just to add on, we also provide a cybersecurity training plus internship program where we teach about the different domains like VAPT 27001, PCI DSS, HIPAA, data privacy, network pen testing, web pen testing, API pen testing, iOS pen testing, Android pen testing, SOC monitoring, cloud security, bug hunting, network security, GRC, and many more. These are the topics that we teach in our training program, and it's a combination of training plus internship. It's not just training. That's a different type of model that we are providing, and we have trained more than 1,000 students now, and who have secured a job, and who in the beginning days who had joined this program are at a managerial level, senior managerial level today, and some are even at a director level as well. Okay, and very happy to see them. So the reason for the success of our training plus internship program is, first of all, it's a training plus internship where you get to work also, you will gain experience also. Very importantly, it's the curriculum that we are providing. If you look at the training institutes, they just teach you ethical hacking, nothing beyond that. But we don't do that. We train you on the job role that is required. And along with that, we also teach you all the other domains of cybersecurity from an industry perspective. So it's a 6 months program. You'll be learning from the working professionals. You'll get a dedicated mentors for this for working professionals. You'll get labs to practice. It's a job guaranteed program. You'll get to work on live projects. You can earn while you learn, and you'll get lifetime access to the videos. So that's about the cybersecurity training program that we offer. And there's a cost also for this. The cost is actually 55,000, but for working professionals, we charge 45, and for students, we charge 35. And from this webinar, we'll be sending a link shortly. Those who join from this particular webinar, we will be giving them a further discount of up to 7,000 instantly for those who join from this. And you have to register before 12 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. And you can avail this offer, a discount offer for you. And we will be getting you enrolled for the batch which we have just started. Okay. Further information, if you want, you can always reach out to us and we will help you out. For those who want to do self-study, those who do not want to learn, pay and learn, these are some of the websites from which you can learn and get your skills like EC Council, VMware, CompTIA certified, ISC Square from the official GISC are some of the websites which you can refer. Apart from this, please do refer Medium website, HackerOne website, and Bugcrowd. These are the three best platforms where you can learn, where you can self-learn, where you can do self-study as well. Okay, lot of important concepts and contents are here which you can learn from these platforms. Okay, so yeah, that's about the topics that we have to cover. Just an overview of CyberSapiens. So we are in 3 locations. We are in Bangalore, we're in Mangalore, and we're in Australia. These are 3 locations. We are a team of currently 28 people, and we have full-time interns, about 16 people with us today. And these are some of the services that we offer, like pen testing, red team assessment, audit services on ISO, PCI, HIPAA. We perform phishing simulation. That's one of the tool that we have. We have a product also on phishing simulation, malware simulation, data privacy, third party risk management, security audits, compliance management are some of the services that we offer. Okay. And that's my details here. Anyone who are interested or want to contact me, need to have a one-to-one guidance from my end, you can take my number and you can reach me out. I'll be sharing this PPT also. You can take the number from there as well. Okay. So that's about the session that I had to deliver, the topics. And yeah, so now we'll be looking at the question and answers that you have posted. You can also drop your questions in the chat box as well. But first, let me go through the questions that you have posted. Uh, yeah, so here I'm sharing this. Let me share my screen again. Okay, yeah, let me just refresh and see if there are any more questions that have come up here. Okay. So the first thing is, if your webinar gets hacked, would you consider offering the hackers a free subscription as a way to appreciate their creative approach? Definitely, we can do that. If anyone was able to hack, do let us know. We appreciate. We'll be definitely appreciating your efforts, and we can also offer you free training and internship program with us as well. Okay. So next question, am I on the right path learning Cisco Junior Cybersecurity Analyst career path for CCST? Can you share a roadmap or path to follow? See, basically, first thing is you need to understand what exactly you're getting from this. Now, I'm not sure what exactly the course curriculum for this is. Um, but you need to understand what will be the outcome, whether it will make you a pen tester, bug hunter, SOC analyst, GRC specialist, or what it is, right? Based on that, you can decide. But if you want me to actually comment on this, maybe you can reach out to me on my WhatsApp with the link or information about how this works, and I can provide you more information. Freelancing in cybersecurity, yes, it is possible. That's the best part of cybersecurity. I've also already explained by becoming a bug hunter. How to decrypt any file? Depending on what file this is a technical question. Depending on what file it is, what type of encryption you have in place, then only we can go ahead and do the decryption. First thing is we need to understand what the algorithm is and so on. And there are different methods for that. Then only we can go ahead for the decryption. So technical question, I can't explain it here, but maybe if you need help, you can reach out to us. We can help you with that. What are the various domains that are available for a fresher or from a different background to take a job in cybersecurity? There are three main domains. I've already explained about this. What specific fundamentals are highly required to gain knowledge and get a job in cybersecurity as soon as possible? Again, depends on what type of job profile you are into. If you want to get into pen testing, web pen testing, or network pen testing, you have to decide that also. Network pen testing, learn about network pen testing. Web pen testing, learn about web pen testing. They two are two different things. Okay, so that's what it is required. To become a forensic analyst, what are the roadmap? Forensic analyst, you can either go from the SOC part, or you can go from the cyber forensics part also. Cyber forensics currently is not having that much demand in India right now, but in the coming maybe after 3-4 years, it will have good demand. But right now the demand is kind of less, and it's a saturated market over there. For that, you need to learn about the different tools, methods, and the forensic analysis part. Proper structure to get a job in SOC analyst, more than saying learn networking, learn SIM. What need to be focused on networking and so on. So for SIM, as I said, first of all, we will be conducting specific sessions in the coming days on pen testing, on SOC, on GRC. What you need to do, I think, if you can join that particular session, that will be more clear to you. But for now, if I have to explain you, learn the tools, work on the tools, either QRadar or Splunk. Go to their website. They have free tutorials. They have paid tutorials, trainings also. Take up their certification, learn about the tool. Apart from networking and all, it's a tool that you have to be learning about. Okay, that will help you to get a job. How to find the right mentor? There's no particular method for that. If you join CyberSapiens, we will give you mentors who are working professionals, but otherwise, LinkedIn is the place from where you can get mentors for you. Does SOC analyst perform VAPT? No. Job of a SOC analyst is different and pen testers are different. It's blue team, red team, offensive team, defensive team. They're two different things. How can one start learning about cybersecurity along with their degree like MCA and land a job in cybersecurity domain? We have about more than 50% of students who join us for the training program and they become a bug hunter. So for students, the best thing is start learning bug hunting so that you can even earn being a student, even you can work being a student. And once you complete your studies, it will be very easy for you to get a job because you'll have a very good weightage to your profile by then. Okay, so that's the answer for that. I'm studying BCA second sem. I have zero knowledge about cybersecurity, but recently really forensics. What should I do now? The first thing is decide what domain you want to get into. We have already covered the domains. Then maybe you can, dig further. Okay, you choose pen testing, learn about pen testing, bug hunting, and so on. So that's the answer for you. What are the job roles and roadmap in cybersecurity domain already covered? What the company look when we go to interview or apply in companies like skills or certification, internship or project? Yeah. So when you're applying for jobs, as I said, it depends on what domain you're applying to. If you're applying to pen tester, companies will expect you to have experience in pen testing, to have done pen testing or bug hunting. So, pen testing you can do, like bug hunting and pen testing are almost the kind of the same, not exactly the same. So if you're doing bug hunting, if you're a bug hunter, you can showcase that as a experience for you and apply for job for the penetration tester. So companies will ask for skills, knowledge, and if you are applying for, let's say, SOC, just SOC will not help. You also need to know about ethical hacking, pen testing, GRC, and so on. That will give more weightage to your profile. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. For an entry level job in cybersecurity, companies are asking at least 2+ years of experience and how to get a job in such companies. Don't worry about that. Companies just put 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Your job is to apply. But before you apply, you need to be clear with what profile you are good at. Don't just apply for cybersecurity. No, you need to apply for the specific job roles and you need to have uh, experience. As I said, if you want to work on SOC, there are labs available where you can practice SOC. Of course, you can't work on live platforms, but you can practice SOC. For pen testing, you can do bug hunting. For GRC, there are some platforms where you can do practice or work on GRC projects as well. So is SOC jobs are offensive security or defensive? SOC is basically a defensive one. Can a fresher get jobs like red team analyst or red team operator? Yes, freshers can get a job, but for that you need to have the skill. From India, can a cybersecurity job holder work or for companies in other countries remotely? Yes. Lot of candidates who join CyberSapiens training plus internship program have got remote job from a foreign companies. That is possible. What if someone is handling endpoint security with email and proxy security? What option this person can have for further growth? Endpoint security, you can either go for SOC. I mean, that will be the closest profile if you're in the email security or endpoint security. That's the closest one. But having said that, you can also go for pen testing or GRC also. In this case, your interest is what matters here, uh, apart from your current profile. How to know name of someone who is using a fake Facebook account? Sorry, that's an out of topic question. Why is your training program don't have frameworks like NIST and MITRE, and why don't you improve your curriculum more basic to advanced? We have improved our curriculum. Thanks for this feedback. Yes, we do cover NIST, we do cover MITRE attack now in the SOC. Earlier, we used to not do that. The reason is that time the requirement was different, but now we have updated the curriculum because the industries have changed the curriculum. However, NIST was being delivered even before also, even in the old one. MITRE attack was not done, but we have done it now. And our curriculum is up to date with the industry. It is reviewed by 50+ security professionals. And I can also say that our curriculum, what we are offering, you will not able to find it anywhere in the world. That's something that we have, that we challenge. Okay, so yes, it's up to date curriculum. What are offensive security job roles for freshers and how to get these jobs? Offensive is basically pen testing, already covered how to get this. I hope you will guide us with the proper roadmap to cybersecurity. I hope I was able to help you with the roadmap. If you need any more thing, always reach out to us. I'll be able to help you. Will transitioning into career in cybersecurity provide a salary increase compared to my current role in tech support with a salary of 18 lakh package in a product company? See, if you're an experienced person, your package will be on your salary will be on your current package. That's how it works for an experienced people. Okay, so if you're getting a package of 10 lakh, you will be offered about 15 to 30% of increment on your current package, and slowly it gets increased. That is how it works. So yes, you can get 18 lakh, but slowly you may get it. It may not be like immediately, but it depends on your current uh, uh, package as well. Okay. Will we get the webinar presentation files? Definitely. If our data has been compromised on government website with the confidential information, then how we can protect and delete our info from there, or where we can fix this? There's no way that you can delete data or remove your data from it. It's called as internet. Once it gone to the internet, it's gone there forever. It cannot be deleted at all. The only thing is you need to be aware of it, so that if someone tries to use that data and try to perform social engineering on you, you should not be become a victim of it. So you need to be aware of it, but there's no way that it can be deleted. Once it's gone to the internet, it's gone forever. Okay. And if we're talking about the credential, please see that you don't use those credentials in other accounts that you have. Changing the password will help, and use a strong password. Okay. As a beginner, I struggle a lot until I become an expert. Will there be a partial or full support from your team when needed? Full support will be there. Don't worry till the time you get a job. And even after you get a job, we will be there to help you. Online internships available. Yes, we have online internship. We are based out in Mangalore, but 99% of our candidates are from outside of Mangalore, outside of India as well. Okay. So this is completely remote and online training. What are the projects we can do to build cybersecurity profile? Depending on what job role you want to, if you're into development, you can work on Python, building tools and so on. Refer to GitHub. Lot of projects are tools are already available. You can play around those tools, enhance those tools if you're good in Python or development. If you're into pen testing, go for bug hunting. If you're into SOC, work on labs. So that way you can work on different type of projects there. After 2 years, what is the best domain in cybersecurity in India? There's nothing like that. Data privacy, pen testing, GRC, everything has a scope now. And even after 5 years also, all these will have equal opportunity. I won't be able to say this domain is good or that domain is good. It depends on, how you are enhancing your skills along with the time. Okay. Is HIPAA used in India? HIPAA is a US based regulation. If a company is providing or dealing with US citizens data, then they have to follow HIPAA regulation. It doesn't matter whether it's an Indian company or a US company. If any company dealing with US citizens health data, they have to comply with HIPAA. That's how HIPAA works. Which platforms are actively hiring web pen testers? LinkedIn, check on LinkedIn. And today there are so many places where you can get a job. There's no one particular, but LinkedIn is what I will always suggest people to be on top, because I got my first job, that is in Infosys, through LinkedIn. Even with KPMG, I got job from LinkedIn itself. So LinkedIn is what you have to be using. I'm currently pursuing LLB and interested in becoming cyber lawyer. Is there any course you offer or suggest, considering I have zero knowledge about cybersecurity? If you're pursuing LLB, then I mean, as such, currently there's no training that I can recommend you, but I would suggest you to learn about different types of about the IT Act. That's very important. IT Act you'll have to learn, and then you can learn about the different crimes and so on. And then you can get into the technical side of it. Earlier, we used to provide forensic course, but we stopped that because demand is less and we are not able to place. So that's the reason we have stopped it. Further, if you can just connect with us personally, I can further help you and give you a roadmap to become a cyber lawyer there. Okay. Between VAPT and SOC, what will you suggest for best career in the industry? I can't say VAPT is good or SOC is good. Depends on your interest. If you want to work on see, VAPT is actually kind of difficult because it's a manual thing, you have to work and so on. On the other side, SOC is like, the tool does most of the job, right? So it has its own thing depending on your interest. If you're a person who likes to work on challenges, challenging new things, pen testing is the thing for you. Okay. But both of it has its own advantages. So depending on your interest, you can choose it. As in pen tester, is it mandatory to bypass WAF? It's not like mandatory, but it's an important skill that you need to have as an offensive pen tester. So yes, you need to have the knowledge of it. Will you provide experience letter also after taking plus internship program? Yes, definitely. Experience letter is what we provide because we are providing you the experience. It's a job kind of thing. We are going to treat you as an employee. We are not just teaching you about the basics and things about cybersecurity. We'll teach you about email etiquettes, communication skills, presentation, report writing, and so on. So yes, you'll get an experience letter also. Will you support job guarantee in taking internship in SOC? Yes, we will provide complete assistance in getting a training in SOC as well. So here, I complete the answers from the form that you had filled. Let me go through the chat box. There are some uh, questions here as well. Let me go through them one by one. Can I get whole recorded video of this? Yes, you will get the recordings of this. Okay. What is cyberspace? Already covered. What tools if data has been compromised? I think I have already covered that. Are we going to have the video? Yes. Are there recorded sessions accessible? Will be shared? Yes. Between VAPT and SOC, what will you suggest? I've already answered this. Someone is saying SOC. It's personal choice. Uh, okay. Can you please increase the time to register? Uh, Reach out to us personally, but the time is the same. We can't increase it. But if you're interested, reach out to us. Uh, Email and web security are the part of cybersecurity, or it comes in a different domain. Email security, web security are part of cybersecurity. Okay, but it comes in the bit different domain there. Web security, if you're talking about pen testing and all, then definitely it comes part of cybersecurity there. Please update your questions on Slido. Okay. Okay, I'll just do that. Can you explain what are the salaries of cybersecurity jobs? For a fresher who is a graduate or a postgraduate, salary is between 3 lakhs to 5, 6 lakhs. Okay. Recently, one of our candidate who was an IITN got a job in PhonePe and he got a job offer of 12 lakh package. But he is an IITN. That's a different case. Depending on, IITNs has a different value that's there. But that's the highest package one has got in CyberSapiens as a fresher also. But it goes between 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. Now, again, it depends on organizations also. Like today, even small scale, even a startup company or even a small scale bank or a cooperative bank are required to have a cybersecurity team. Now, this company cannot have a big budget. So that way the salary ranges are ranging today. So earlier, like 6 years back, salary was fixed, but now that is not the case. Like a cooperative bank may not be able to pay you 5 lakh of package, right? But on the other side, a company like Honeywell or TCS can pay you 5 lakh package. So it depends on industry to industry, business to business, company to company. Okay. May I know the training mode and pattern by Sapiens? It's pre-recorded sessions for working professionals, or so we have a mix of pre-recorded and live both. In both the cases, recordings of every sessions will be provided to you. You can please reach out to us. We'll give you complete information of how the training uh, and internship works, because that's not the agenda of this. But you can reach out to us. I'll help you out. What's your job suggestion on I non-IT to IT job? Non-IT to IT, depending on what exactly your profile is and what qualification you have. Because in cybersecurity, qualification is also something which companies look at. Okay, so if you're from BCom or that type of profile and from sales, you want to get into IT core cybersecurity, then it will be difficult for you. I would not suggest such thing to come into. Okay, but if you're into sales, you can get into cybersecurity sales. Lot of demand is there. HR is there. Cybersecurity companies you can join as an HR. So cybersecurity is not just about here. Even in non-technical, even in sales, HR, project management, everywhere companies are looking for cybersecurity people with cybersecurity skills. So you have an option there also. I'm interested in cyber forensics, but as you have said, it has not much demands for it. So then what other domains should I go for and how to start going into cybersecurity, as I have zero knowledge in it and currently I'm doing BCA. So how can I do it? Lastly, thank you so much for, okay. So if you're doing BCA, if you're currently doing BCA, go for pen testing, go for bug hunting. If you don't want to do that, then you can go for GRC or you can go for SOC also. Okay, that's what I would suggest. Further, if you need, please connect with me. We can have discussion and I can help you out. However, job market, if you want to go abroad for cybersecurity job role, very good opportunities like cybersecurity opportunities there in entire world. But to get into the other countries, you need to have follow certain process and all. So usually people go there to do their masters and then they get the job. but it's not like in India or anywhere. In the entire world, anywhere you go, cybersecurity has a demand. Okay. Is it offline or online training mode? It will be, we have both. If you are in Mangalore, around Mangalore, if you can come to Mangalore, you can take the offline mode, or you can take the online from anywhere. As I said, we have 99% of the people from outside of Karnataka, outside of Mangalore, and outside of India also, we have international students as well. As a fresher, when we apply for job, then companies want 1 2 year experience. I think they have already said this. Don't look at that, just apply. Okay. I have 2 years of experience in switching web scaling, which with pen testing, how much I can expect. Depending on your current experience, you will be paid. I've just covered that. Can I go for your cybersecurity course even if I have literally zero knowledge on cybersecurity? Even if you have literally zero knowledge, you can get enrolled for this course, because we start from the scratch, we start from basics. Okay, so yes, you can join our course, and there are people who have joined, but uh, if you're from BCom or other background, we can't give a commitment to you. Okay, because companies have a job qualification requirement also. But yes, you can come, you can become a bug hunter, you can work as a bug hunter also. In market institutes and media, there is a lot of jobs on cybersecurity, but if it comes reality, we tried a lot of jobs and we're not getting calls. What's the mistake I'm doing? Harsha, it depends on what job role you are applying for. It depends on your resume, what you have mentioned in your resume, what job role you're applying for. That's a common mistake people do. They just keep applying. You know, what job role are you applying for? Do you have that thought in your mind? Are you prepared? Do you have the skills for that job role? For example, if you're applying for SOC, do you have the skill to apply for job role? Do you have the knowledge, the key knowledge that is required for SOC? Think about it, then only you'll get the answer, because companies looking for people with skills, people with knowledge on that particular domain. You can't just apply just because you're a CH or you're a certified ethical hacker. That's a misconception. Gain the skill, get to the profile, that will help you to get the job. Can I get into gaming companies for cybersecurity? What will be the process? Yes, gaming companies, there's no limitation. Gaming companies, fintech companies, banks, IT, non-IT, everyone, every companies today have a job requirement in cybersecurity. What will be the process? The process is the same. You need to have the skill. Based on your skill, based on the job requirement, apply. And how do you apply? Search for the company, go to their career page, look for the career opportunities, apply. That's how you go. Okay. Does SOC as real-time projects in training programs? We do not have real-time projects, but it's a real-time simulated projects, by which you can say that you have worked on real-time projects, because we can't give you to work on real-time projects. It's a very critical, sensitive thing and a confidential thing also. So we have simulated labs which are exactly same like real-time work scenarios. You can work on that and you can showcase as a real-time example. Sir, I'm a second year BTech student. What can I do now? I think after BTech, I go for SOC analyst. Up to you. If you're a student, my suggestion would be bug hunting, because you can earn on it. But if you want to go for SOC, you can go for that. But if you're a second year, you still have 2 years on it. And if you choose SOC now, what will you do after learning SOC? You can't, it has a limitation at the moment. You learn SOC when you reach your final year. Now you learn on bug hunting when you reach your final year, final last sem, start learning SOC and then apply for the SOC. How can we build a strong resume or portfolio for cybersec? Go through the job profile on LinkedIn, Naukri, see what companies are expecting out of you. For pen testing, what are the key skills? What are the knowledge companies are expecting? Learn those concepts and make sure that you mention those in your resume, because keywords are very important in your resume. What you are mentioning is very important. So resume plays a very important role. Companies use artificial intelligence and tools today, like Naukri. The moment you apply for a job, Naukri will give a rating to your application. It will say like 90%, 50%, 10%, depending on what keywords you're put in your resume. So make sure that you have all those keywords in your resume, for which refer job posting on LinkedIn, Naukri, and other places. Which certification is better in this domain to get a job? Certification, to be frank, right now doesn't matter. Skills is what matters. Okay, don't actually need a certificate to get a job. If you have the skill, you can do self learning, you can take YouTube to learn. Lot of labs are there, you can get a job. But again, you need to build your resume, make your resume properly, all of that is there. But as such certification, nothing mandatory. But CH is a certification that you can go for, and there are a lot of certifications that you can go for depending on how much what type of job role you want to get into. You can take up the certification, but not required as such. How practical hands-on? Aruna, that looks like that question is kind of incomplete. Please complete, help me understand this question. I'm ISO 27000 certified. What profile can I go for in cybersecurity? If you're ISO 27001, then you're part of GRC. You can go for ISO implementer, ISO auditor. Now, ISO 27001 certified means, are you a lead auditor or your lead implementer? Depending on that, you can apply for jobs. If you're LI, you can go for implementation related jobs. If you're LA, you can go for audit related job profiles. Or you can also apply for GRC related job roles also, or compliance related job roles as well. Okay. Anything in compliance you can go for. Skills can be added to resume from for an Nasreen, again, this question is incomplete. Please help me understand this question better. Is this internship offline or online in Mangalore? As I said, we have both. We have online and offline both. What is basic setup needed for the lab that we should have? Which lab? Are you talking about pen testing lab? Then you need to have setup like different different types of chat labs are there which you can access on the online and you can practice them. Okay. I have a BCom computer application degree and MBA specialization. I'm having 11 years of into risk and control management. I want to switch to SOC or GS side, insights and roadmap to take it further. Definitely, Jagadish, please reach out to me. I can help you out. I will be very happy to connect with you one to one and help you address with your concern. And I can help you to shift your career with this. But right now it would be difficult for me. Please connect with me. I've already given my number. I'll also give my number here. Please connect with me. Okay. Three main skills that could be added to the resume as a pen tester. Main skills: bug hunting. How many labs, how many vulnerabilities you know, how many attacks you have performed. Okay, these are the things that, and how many vulnerabilities you have assessed. Okay, these are the three main skills that you can add. I mean, in a description. How to practice in the lab in our system? Access the lab. Go to internet, access the lab, practice. Simple. There's nothing complicated there. Okay, so with this, I'm done with answering the questions from the chat, and let me just see if there are any questions in the slide. Okay, I think I've answered. Yeah, the three new questions. Sir, compliance need 5+ years experience. Can fresher do? Yes, even a fresher. The person which I said who got a job in PhonePe 12 lakh package. He was a fresher. He got a job as a fresher in compliance. As a fresher, when we apply for job, then companies, I think already answered this. Seems okay. So I think I've been able to answer most of the questions. We're just stopping this because we want to end this webinar. I know you guys have more questions. I'll try to address them. You can reach out to me or in the group. I'll try to address them. Okay. But I hope I was able to cover the roadmap and help you understand what cybersecurity is and how to get into this job role. Further in our webinars, we will cover topics specific to the job roles that will help you get in more understanding. So thank you so much everyone for joining this. Yeah, thank you so much. Good night. Take care. See you next time.